Hey guys, wanted to touch on something super important. So just take a couple of minutes to listen to this because it's coming up a lot lately. And if you want 2025 to be something different than 2024, or you've got big goals, which is exactly why you're here, please listen to this. The number one thing that is holding most consultants back, I'm no different, but there is an awareness that needs to take place that most people miss. When we start to want to learn something new in order to do something so we can have something, the first thing that we look at is if we change the what, we feel like we're changing the outcome. So, what I mean by that is if I learn something new, like I read a book is a what. If I learn something new and I watch a new course, a new module, I speak to a new partner, the what changes. And therefore, there is this inherent belief that because I'm changing my what, I'm going to change the outcome of what I'm doing. So it's kind of like an illusion because we look at the new wants and we get excited and entertained and we think that we're creating these big shifts because it's new and it's exciting. But where I see most people missing the point and losing, quite frankly, time and opportunity is that we don't change the operating system that sits behind the information. So whilst we're getting these insights, the behavior and the components of our brain isn't registering that we have to change our behavior. We have to change the way we think and therefore act in order to integrate the insights into outcomes. And integration is about taking the Hows, not house, taking the hows and learning to change the behavior. So when you look at a new what, for example, if I'm not achieving enough leads in the marketplace, and I realize that my offer is really, it's not great. So what do? I change the what? I change the wrapper, right? I change the wrapper of the offer. So I make it instead of blue, I change it to pink. And I think, well, now that it's pink, everything's got to change. So I go out with the wrapper, but ultimately I'm still faced with the same problem, which is I'm getting some interest, but I'm not getting the outcome, which is the client. So I'm not making sales. So it must be the offer. So I change the wrapper again and I make the wrapper orange. And then I walk around saying, this isn't working. It must be the wrapper, or it must be the person who sold me the wrapper, or it must be the manufacturer of the wrapper, or maybe it's the what the wrapper's made of. It's got to be all of that, right? Because it can't be me. And so because there's no behavior shift, we just change the external without shifting the internal. And then nothing really changes except we just get more frustrated. And the moral to this story is to help you understand that the real outcomes that you want are on the other side of the behavior that you're not willing to change or look at or address, which is how you speak, how you show up, how you articulate, how you demonstrate. It's how you believe in yourself enough to do something different, to feel uncomfortable, to embrace this new uncertainty. To change something means to be uncomfortable enough to create a new experience. So we take these new wants and we become brave enough to maybe do something a bit different to get something different. And we're changing the behavior and changing the what. Like we change maybe the insights that we're getting. We change the actions we take. So the what and the how change, then the outcomes start to shift. So a perfect example of this, I've had a client and she is battling, right? New model, new frameworks, new systems, looking great. And then when she presents these things, the how hasn't changed. So how she is talking, how she is presenting, how she is relating, how she is communicating has not changed. So she's using these fluffy words like, I help you with this systematic utilization to optimize the outcomes within for leadership development. And I'm like, if you're not going to change how you choose to speak, and all you do is think, I'm going to change what? So I'm going to put a framework out there and a message out there and change my LinkedIn profile. The what's have all changed, but you are the variable. And you being the variable means you need to change how you do something to get something a little bit different. So what do we do? How the behavior is not a short-term fix, because often there is an awareness process, there is a change process, there is a development process, and that takes time. It can take a week, but it can take a month, or in some cases, it can take a year. And often what happens is crisis forces people to change behavior. So something happens and they're forced to change. And so those kind of things, crisis shouldn't be the catalyst for change. I'd have you consider that we don't need a crisis to change, but we need to assess what we're not allowing in our life through the results that we're not seeing. And then we need to have the honest conversation with ourselves, and there's honest self-assessment, which is, if someone else is doing it, how are they showing up? And then, kind of be humble enough to realize you don't know everything, and start to model. If you can't change, start to model someone who you look up to. You can see they've got the results you want. Model them. Don't copy them. Model them to build the confidence and the courage to create your own character. That's the power of a mentor and a coach. But one thing I will say is, don't go and grab a coaching program or just think you're going to change the what and everything else is going to change. Because quite frankly, the biggest transformations you will ever make is not through what you know, but it's how you act with the new insights that you get that determine the character that you build and the person you become. And it's that person that is capable of achieving the outcome that you want. And that person, I would have you consider, looks a little bit different, sounds a little bit different, thinks little bit different, does a little bit different to the person that's looking in the mirror today. So be brave enough to face the person you are today and challenge yourself to be the version that's going to help you achieve what you need tomorrow, by maybe just inquiring as to how you're showing up, or maybe not showing up, and knowing that the gap between where you are now and where you want to be isn't just information and insight, but it's in action and awareness and the courage to do something different. Anyway, guys, a little bit of a rant for me. Take care. Bye for now. See you.